Oh, that's not right. Oh my. That's not right.
Hey guys, welcome to Retro Reminder. I'm Nick, and what better way to start this channel than by combining a little of the old with a little of the new. Here's Zelda, The Legend of, in VR.
Look at this little guy. Hi. Hello. Man, that's awesome. There he is, hiding in the bushes. And it's just so cool. It's like this little sandbox area. It's like a shadow box display. It's amazing. Man, it's almost like they're Legos, like I could just reach out there and just move them around.
Now, some of you might be wondering how this technological wizardry is even possible. Well, this is done through an emulator called 3D NES. You do not need a VR headset to take advantage of this emulator, although it really shines in VR, and it definitely breathes new life into these old games. It quite literally puts a new perspective on them, and lets you appreciate them in a whole new way.
Oh, it's just so cool. Man.
It is also just so cool. You'll notice that water has ripples to it, and those trees are cylindrical, and Link stands up instead of being a flatlander. This is all done through the emulator, and what I presume is black magic. There's also an entire community of people devoted to improving the 3D appearance of these games. I wish I could be one of them, but it's a little tedious, as you'll see here. I always remembered the first dungeon room as being very ominous with grotesque statues filling the room, not these chunks of coral reef. Making a few small tweaks isn't too much trouble, but if you're trying to make an entire game look good, that's going to take some serious dedication.
There it goes. That looks a lot more familiar. Okay, so after a bit of tweaking, I think we got them just about right. Looks a little more familiar. They're floating, so let's fix that real fast. And we can watch it drop. Boom. That's cool. Alright. Now, let's try that again, and we'll perform the only trick I know in this game of unlocking that first door without needing a key. Just walk out, and as many of you know, you walk back in, boom, unlocked. There we are. That's better. Now all we need is some dramatic lighting in here. Maybe in the next version.
I do love the editing features, and if I had less video games to play, I would spend all that time making these old games look shiny and new. I'm also too much of a perfectionist, which I always thought was a good thing, until I started playing with this emulator. Making those statues in the last room look right and not floating off the ground by 1 pixel, a detail that no one would notice except other perfectionists, took more out of me than I wanted it to. But I did it anyways, and I keep doing it, as you'll see. And it got easier as I went, but it just interferes with me having fun. I need to learn how to let go of things. But in a digital world where you can make everything perfect, that's like asking me to stop breathing for a couple of hours. I just can't do it.
Oh, I couldn't tell that door was closed. That's a little weird.
Maybe you should go back and fix it, Nick. But I'm just joking around. Part of the fun of this emulator is going in and tweaking the graphics and making them look just so. These old games just come to life, especially in VR, so when you come across something that doesn't look the way you expect it to, it really breaks the flow of the game. Luckily, most, if not all the work, has already been done by someone for the most popular games out there. I believe this one was actually done by the developer himself. But anyway, when everything looks right, you can just sit back and enjoy some retro nostalgia with a 3D upgrade. Hold on a second.
Alright, well, that needs to change.
Yeah, unless Link has the Staff of Moses, water does not stand up like that. It's a neat effect, but I gotta fix this.
Yeah, let's go ahead and fix this. Maybe it'll be a quick fix.
Spoiler alert, it wasn't.
I just make it 0. Oh, that'll get rid of it, I guess. That's kind of cool, though. That's actually kind of neat. Oh, it should have been 1. Right. Alright, that looks a lot more normal.
So what can I say about Zelda that hasn't already been said? It's a solid game that still holds up. I love the open world nature of it. I love that it doesn't hold you by the hand. I love its sense of mystery and cryptic resonance. I never beat it as a kid, but a couple of years ago, I made it a point to 100% it on original hardware, which I did without a walkthrough, relying solely on childhood memories and 25 years worth of trivial Zelda knowledge. Look at me now, Mom. Look at me now. There's really not much to not like about this game. My only complaint would be the stiff controls. I'm surprised no one's made a ROM hack to fix it. That, combined with an awful controller, makes for some frustrating gameplay.
The directional pad on the 360 controller is the worst thing in the world. Not literally, I mean, there's... Man, I don't know what to say. Next video, I'm definitely upgrading this controller.
Okay, here's another one of those immersion-breaking moments. If everything else in this dungeon is standing, then the dungeon boss better not be taking things lying down.
Oh, that's not right. Oh my. That's not right. So... There we go. Okay.
Now that's a good-looking dungeon boss. No laying down on the job, no silly acrobatics. And that's the thanks I get.
Whoa. Man, that is so cool. It's like way in front of you. You can't appreciate the perspective of it, but it's like a curtain falling down in front of the scene. So that's going... If I were playing this normally, her head would be right where that block is that I'm shooting, I think. So it actually, like, it's not just an illusion, I don't think. Well, maybe it is, now I'm not sure.
After that test, I'm pretty sure it's just an illusion. What I could have done was made the depth of the boss thicker, but now I'm getting picky. Let's just grab this sweet-looking Triforce. And of course, Link has to go and ruin the moment.
Lastly, I'd like to see if I can not do that.
I really started to get the hang of using the editor, and I know I'll be showing off some pretty obscure games in the future, so I'll probably have to do them myself. But let me know what kind of games you like to see, and I'll do my best to try to put something together.
Now we've got a proper looking dungeon entrance. Oh yeah, that's spooky.
So that about does it for this video. There's a lot of other games I'd like to show off in this emulator, which, by the way, I've put a link to in the description below. Let me know if you'd like to see a full-on Let's Play of Zelda in VR, or if you have a special game in mind that you'd like to see. Until next time, thanks for watching Retro Reminder, reminding you, it's dangerous to go alone. Well, it looks like I was wrong. After reading through Zelda Wiki, Zelda Dungeon, and Zeldapedia, it seems that Aquamentus is not a he or a she, simply an it. Just to make sure, I even went straight to the source and looked at the original game manual. Yep, it's a fearful opponent. It emits mean beams. I even went as far as watching an episode of the animated series. They just call it by its name. But I don't care. You'll always be a lady to me, Aquamentus.